Thunder cracks in the distance. Bolts of lightning sizzle around them. Sun Wukong bares his teeth in a confident grin. He's seen many celestial foes before, but he's never faced the king of the Greek gods. Zeus raises one arm overhead. A single thunderbolt forms, crackling with power. "Monkey!" he bellows, voice echoing like a storm across empty skies. "You dare challenge me?" Sun Wukong snorts and twirls his Rui Jingu Bang. "I've outwitted the Jade Emperor's armies," he says, eyes narrowing. "Your lightning doesn't scare me." Lightning flashes, their battle begins. Zeus hurls the thunderbolt. Sun Wukong leaps into the air, the staff lighting up in response, as if it's absorbing the glow of the heavens. The bolt slams into the rock behind him, shattering it to dust. But let's pause for a beat. Who is this staff-wielding figure who can dodge a god-king's thunderbolt? His story runs through China's classical masterpiece, Journey to the West, written during the Ming Dynasty. Sun Wukong was born from a stone egg on the Mountain of Flowers and Fruit. He gained supernatural powers by studying under a Taoist immortal. Over time, he acquired the ability to transform into 72 different shapes, each bringing unique strengths. He snagged his famous staff, the Rui Jingu Bang, from the Dragon King's undersea treasury, an iron pillar that can shrink or expand at his command. Over the course of his travels, Wukong barged into heavenly realms and quarreled with celestial beings. He repeatedly challenged the Jade Emperor's authority, even earning the title Great Sage, equal to heaven. Yet standing against him is no ordinary deity. Zeus, from ancient Greek myth, overthrew his own father, Cronus, to become the supreme ruler of Mount Olympus. With thunderbolts forged by the Cyclopes, Zeus commands storms, shapes the fates of mortals, and presides over all lesser gods. His domain spans the sky. Even the king of the underworld and the god of the seas bow to him. In classical myths, no titan, giant, or mortal warrior could match his raw, overwhelming might. As the dust from the shattered rock settles, Zeus's eyes flicker with lightning. He sees Sun Wukong bounding through the air, rapid, agile, practically dancing among the clouds. The next thunderbolt is bigger, the sound deeper, the brightness blinding. This time, the bolt is aimed not just at Wukong, but also the path he's leaping toward. It explodes, and the shockwave tears at the ground. Wukong flips midair, hair bristling with static electricity. With a triumphant laugh, he drops a single strand of his hair, blows on it, and recites a short mantra. Instantly, the hair becomes a clone of the Monkey King. Except now, there are a dozen clones. Then 2 dozen, 40. Each one brandishes a staff. Now the background story behind these hairs. In Journey to the West, Sun Wukong can pluck a hair from his body, chew it up, or blow on it to create duplicates of himself. He can also transform it into objects, or even tiny miniature monkeys. This is no mere magic trick. It's proved to his broad repertoire of cosmic powers. Zeus glances around. "Cheap illusions," he mutters, though his voice cracks with caution. He has bested rebellious giants in Greek legend. He's destroyed cities with a flick of lightning. His father devoured his siblings at birth, and only Zeus escaped, eventually returning to free them by slicing Cronus open. He led the gods in a war so colossal, the earth trembled. So to him, these monkey duplicates might seem puny at first, but they're resilient, darting in from all sides. At a single command, the army of clones attacks. Staffs jab and whirl, and each staff can expand. The Rui Jingu Bang is legendary for changing sizes, from a tiny needle to a pillar that can hold up entire oceans. The clones do not let Zeus ignore their presence. They swarm, each staff swirling. Thunder booms, Zeus conjures a swirling gust, forming a vortex of wind that tosses the monkeys aside. Yet, when the wind clears, the real sun, Wukong, is right there in front of Zeus, staff at the ready. He strikes, sparks erupt as celestial metal meets divine presence. Zeus stumbles a step, not from raw power alone, but from surprise. It's not often that a challenger gets so close. This is where we must talk about immortality. According to the Journey to the West, Sun Wukong snagged an elixir of immortality from Laozi. He also devoured the peaches of immortality in Heaven's Orchard. And after all that, he still underwent alchemical refining in Laozi's 8-trigram furnace, only to emerge with golden, unbreakable eyes. Many would say he doesn't just have one brand of immortality, he's stacked multiple forms, which is why he's so hard to kill. But let's not forget who Zeus is. In ancient Greece, the entire pantheon recognized him as the final word. If necessary, he can flood the earth, reorder the seasons, or hurl unstoppable thunderbolts. Mortals quake at the mention of his name. Even the Titans, ancient primordial deities, were defeated by him in the Titanomachy, where he freed the Cyclops to forge unstoppable bolts. Some classical sources even hint that Zeus has the power to shapeshift, though not as famously as Sun Wukong. Indeed, in Greek myths, he turned into eagles, swans, or even showers of gold. So he's not just the lightning thrower, he's cunning as well. Now, in the swirling chaos, the monkey clones vanish in plumes of smoke. The real Wukong spins his staff overhead, chanting incantations. Zeus lifts both hands and calls upon the storms. The sky grows black, lightning webs across the clouds, each flash illuminating Wukong's determined stare. Out of nowhere, a booming voice from Sun Wukong rings out. "You're not the first god who tried to put me down. I've wrestled with immortals in the Celestial Palace. I've been pinned under 5 Elements Mountain and lived to tell the tale. You think one storm is enough?" Zeus answers with a roar, raising a tremendous bolt high in the air. The brilliance floods the sky. He hurls it with all his might. Wukong responds, and the Ruyi Jingu Bang expands. It grows from the size of a staff to something like a towering column, slamming into the thunderbolt mid-flight. The clash bursts like a supernova. Shockwaves flatten the surrounding mountains. The ground cracks. In Greek myth, such a thunderbolt laid waste to entire armies. But here, it meets an unyielding staff in the hand of an impossibly stubborn monkey. When the light fades, both combatants stand breathing heavily, though neither surrenders. Yet, Zeus is not mortal. Even seeing that his might can be matched, he calls up yet another level of power. Meanwhile, Wukong narrows his gaze. He knows if he does not go all out, the next thunderbolt may be the last thing he sees. He calls upon a secret technique from his years of training. Another swirl of hair, another flurry of incantations. This time, not dozens, but thousands of monkey clones materialize. They flood the field, rushing in from all directions, each with a staff that can do real damage. In Greek tales, titans and giants once tried to swarm Olympus. Back then, Zeus and his fellow Olympians triumphed, but the memory of that war taught him cunning. Without warning, Zeus leaps upward, rising into the roiling clouds. From that vantage, he can see the sea of monkey clones. He spreads his arms wide, rumbling intensifies, bolts gather in a ring around him, forging a single colossal thunderstorm. Down below, the unstoppable staff thrashes about, toppling boulders and smashing illusions. The monkey clones leap from pinnacle to pinnacle. Zeus unleashes a torrent of lighting that arcs across the entire battleground. One by one, the clones burst back into streams of hair, drifting as scorched wisps. Then, the lightning hits the real Sun Wukong square in the chest. He staggers, staff scraping the ground, but remains on his feet. Here's where we recall the half-dozen ways Wukong earned immortality. He devoured peaches, gulped the Jade Emperor's special wine, and swallowed Laozi's pills. He also endured the refining furnace, and some legends say he crossed cosmic boundaries. Mortal or not, lightning can hurt him, but it won't destroy him. Zeus descends, suspecting his final blow should finish the job. For all his might, though, the next sight shocks him. Wukong, scorched and panting, is standing. He's not unscathed, but he is very much alive. In the distance, a fierce wind whips the falling ash. Zeus steels himself, realizing he may have to outmaneuver the monkey instead of simply outmuscling him. This is the moment he tries a different approach. He shapeshifts into a giant eagle, swooping down with sudden speed, claws aiming for Wukong's staff arm. But Wukong's reflexes are honed from centuries of confrontation. He spots the eagle form, leaps backward, and extends the staff with uncanny precision. Staff meets eagle chest. Zeus transforms back in a flash of light, battered but still formidable. A hush falls, the swirling clouds remain, but for a moment, the storm quiets. Then both combatants move with the speed of thought. Staff arcs overhead, lightning arcs from the heavens. With a crack that might split the sky itself, staff and bolt collide once more. There's a moment where everything slows. You can almost hear the hum of cosmic energies wrestling. Sun Wukong grits his teeth. He was pinned under a mountain by Buddha himself. He broke free after 500 years. He survived scorching in Laozi's furnace. He overcame entire armies of heavenly warriors. This single lightning bolt, no matter how mighty, won't be his undoing. Zeus, on the other hand, is the rightful king of the gods on Mount Olympus. He wrested power from the Titans and fathered gods, demigods, and heroes. In many myths, no one stands above him. He holds the thunder that shaped entire civilizations. The logic stands. If any being could challenge Wukong's multiple immortalities, it might be the unstoppable force of the Greek pantheon's figurehead. In a flash, lightning and staff energy recoil from each other, flinging both warriors backward. Dust clouds billow, rocks tumble from shattered cliffs. When it all clears, we see the outcome. Zeus battered and kneeling, a slash across one arm from the staff's unstoppable weight. Sun Wukong leaning on Rui Jingu Bang, scorched fur, but still standing. The gods of old measured victory by who stands at the end of a storm. And here it is Sun Wukong who does not fall. Even the unstoppable lightning of Zeus found its match in the Monkey King's bottomless bag of tricks and repeated invincibility. So, in this hypothetical clash, Wukong stands victorious. He raises the staff in one last salute. Then, without a word, he leaps away, leaving behind the faint echo of his mischievous laugh. Zeus, blood trickling down his arm, has faced a foe that even a Titan's father could not have prepared him for. But is this truly over? Or would the might of the Olympians rally to chase that mocking echo across the world?